Good morning, class. Today we explore
So, what have you taught today?
Let's talk about something that can make even the most experienced teachers a little nervous, a pedagogical visit in your classroom. I know how you might feel when you are being observed, but don't worry. I've got you covered with some practical advice to help you shine during the visit. Make sure you do not quit before the video ends, because everything I say here is inspired from my own experience. This is a huge opportunity for you to learn from the mistakes I made and become a better teacher. I share with you things I should have done when I was a full-time teacher. And believe me, if I had done those things, I would have been a great teacher by now. This is why in this video I talk about 5 things you need to take into account when you are under observation. If you really want your future pedagogical observation to be successful and pleasant by your side, you will have to watch this video till the end, and don't forget to subscribe and stay connected for more insightful contents coming up. Hello there and welcome back to Teach Different. This platform is one of the best places on social media where you can improve your teaching practices in the classroom. Today we are talking about pedagogical visits. If you are watching this video, it's probably because you are preparing to receive a pedagogical visit sooner or later. However, I'm quite aware, and we all know for sure, that pedagogical visits are not always welcome. Let us admit that teaching while being observed by a professional may be a source of stress and even pressure, especially when you are a beginner teacher. Also, if you are struggling to implement a particular required approach or technique, you may feel anxious when a teaching supervisor is paying you a visit in your classroom. If that is your case, know that you are not alone, and this video will help you avoid the mistakes I made. Without further ado, here is the first thing you need to do. 1. Understand the purpose of the visit. Understanding why the supervisor is in your classroom is key. But first, let me tell you what the supervisor is not there for.
Miss Vance, I am Mr. Harrison.
Believe me, the supervisor is not in your classroom for the following. 1. He's not there for blaming you. 2. He's not there for spying you. 3. He's not there for judging you. And 4. He's not there to catch you making mistakes. Now, why have they come to your class? The unique reason why the supervisor is in your classroom is to analyze your teaching while observing your interaction with your students. Analyzing your teaching means that they will point out the positive aspects of your teaching and then the aspects that might need to be improved in view of suggesting some advice based on what they remarked. This is normal, as we know that in everything we do as humans, there are positive sides as well as negative sides. Indeed, nothing we do here below is totally positive or totally negative. Only make sure that in everything you do in the classroom, the negative aspects do not outweigh the positive ones. I will show you how you can minimize the possible negative aspects later in this video. So keep on watching. Now that you understand the purpose of pedagogical visits, let's move on to the second thing you need to take into account for a successful visit. 2. Teach from a plan. To start with, I want you to keep in mind that to present a highly positive teaching session, you need to design a well-structured lesson plan, which is the foundation of a successful visit. Make sure your objectives are clearly set, your activities are engaging, and your resources are organized. Moreover, have a clear idea of the competence you want to develop in your learners. The competence you want to teach must be both pertinent and relevant. It must also reflect real-life needs. To design an effective learning session plan, start with the end in mind. This is why I suggest that you design the situation of integration first before designing the learning session plan and the consolidation session plan. By watching other videos on this channel, you will definitely get inspired to design effective lesson plans that fit the competency-based approach, or CBA. Another thing you have to remember is that prior to the class, do not hesitate to have a colleague or supervisor analyze your plan. By the way, you have to avoid copy and paste plans, that is, complete plans designed by others for you. This is what I call copy and paste plan, a plan that you did not design yourself. Even if you generated a plan from an artificial intelligence tool, don't forget to customize it to make it your own. Craft your plan to align it with the purpose of the visit. Something many teachers ignore is, you may call the supervisor who is coming to visit you and discuss issues pertaining to the lesson you want to present. Most importantly, tailor your lesson plans to your students' real needs and level. Think about how your lesson fits into the broader curriculum while targeting the right unit or theme. And don't forget to have a backup plan, sort of plan B, in case something doesn't go as expected. Flexibility is a teacher's superpower. During the visit, what matters most is how your students are learning. Use techniques that encourage participation, like group work, discussions, or hands-on activities. Remember, the supervisor is likely to look at how you interact with your students. Show that you're creating a supportive and inclusive learning environment. However, let me insist on something very important. Do not stick too much to your plan. Don't forget that your plan is simply a teaching guide. Do not give the impression that you are merely reading from your plan. Teach from your plan dynamically while having an eye contact with your students. Do not let your plan embarrass or enslave you. You are the teacher. Just handle your plan as a simple teaching tool, not a reading book. Three, be yourself. This is the third thing you need to do. Be yourself. You know what? It's natural to feel nervous on such an occasion, but don't let anxiety take over. Focus on your strengths and trust in your teaching abilities. Supervisors appreciate authenticity. Be yourself. Teach as you normally do. Teach as usual. Remember, supervisors come to your class to help you improve, not to catch you making mistakes. Supervisors are not your enemies. Do not behave in the classroom as if you want to impress the inspectors who are visiting you. You don't need to impress them. In fact, you are not talking to the inspectors, neither directly nor indirectly. Just ignore their presence and teach your lesson. As a matter of fact, the inspectors are not there to see how well you speak English. They are there to see how well you help your students make good use of English. That's all. Now, something you must never do: avoid memorizing parts of your plan. Speak your English. Use the English that your students understand. Behave in the classroom as usual, but behave well. Do not be too strict with your students or too lenient simply because the inspector is here. Dress decently, but simply. Be confident. Do not try to be somebody else. You are not anybody. You are just you. So be yourself. Stay yourself even if you have a pedagogical guest in your classroom. Do not try something new. Do not do anything you are not used to. The fourth thing you need to take into account if you really want the pedagogical observation to be a success is leverage your teaching skills. To leverage your skills means to make the most of what you already know and can do, using professional knowledge, classroom experience, creativity, and interpersonal abilities to achieve better teaching results and career growth. In other words, it's about using your strengths strategically to create positive impact in your classroom. A teacher who knows how to leverage their methods turns every class into an opportunity for learners to practice real communication, not just memorize rules. A teacher who leverages their skills learns how to transfer and adapt them to new approaches, making their teaching relevant and effective. A teacher who leverages their teaching skills innovates and stays motivated. Teaching the same way for years can feel repetitive and unproductive, but when you leverage your creativity and professional experience, you can design innovative lessons, integrate culture, or use digital tools, making your class more enjoyable for both you and your learners. To be able to do that concretely and effectively, please consider the following 6 things. 1. Reflect regularly on what works and what doesn't in your classroom. 2. Document your practices by keeping a teaching portfolio or share classroom successes online. 3. Engage in peer observation. Learn from colleagues and exchange best practices. 4. Take part in professional development even if you have to pay for that. Professional development can be through workshops, webinars, teacher associations, etc. 5. Experiment. Try new techniques, games, or digital tools aligned with the CBA. 6. Mentor others. Helping others helps you refine your own teaching skills.
I see. I see.
Now I'm giving you a practical piece of advice. Do not make the input stage too long. As a reminder, the input stage is the part of the learning session that is devoted to grammar and vocabulary teaching. Do not teach several things at the same time. Select and teach relevant aspects that best align with your objectives. You are not obliged to teach both vocabulary and grammar points. Sometimes one is enough, either grammar or vocabulary. Now, the last point I'm going to talk about is the most important. It's about the interview you will have with the inspector after your class. What are the questions that they are likely to ask you? How do you answer them? And most importantly, how to behave during a pedagogical visit? Continue watching to find out.
Defend your pedagogical choices. Justify your position. But do not contradict the inspector. Show you are confident.
And your objectives? Were they reached? How do you know?
5. Some tips for a successful after-class interview. After the visit, take time to reflect on the feedback you receive. Use it as a learning opportunity to grow professionally. The interview consists of questions such as, what have you taught today? Have you reached your objectives? How do you know? What worked and what didn't? What method did you use? Etc. Generally, you will be asked to summarize your teaching. In this case, recall the lesson title, stages, activities, and grouping modes. Make sure you do not mention all details. Just summarize your lesson.
The lesson was on simple past tense. We used a storytelling activity. Students worked in pairs, then groups.
In case you are asked to grade your performance, be very careful and humble. Judge your teaching objectively. You should avoid extreme measures. Your performance should be neither totally negative or totally positive. Saying that your performance was completely negative reveals that you are not confident as a teacher. Remember, a good teacher is necessarily confident. Also, depicting your teaching as being perfect may show that you are a boastful or pretentious teacher, which is not a good thing. Even when you feel that your teaching deserves a very good mark, and even if the inspector praises or congratulates you, be humble enough to tell the inspector that you only did your best and that you need their professional appreciation in order to improve your teaching practices.
Judge your teaching objectively. Avoid extreme measures. Not totally negative, not totally positive. A good teacher is confident.
However, do not hesitate to defend your position or a given technique or method that you used in your lesson. In other words, be ready to justify your pedagogical choices when you are sure that you are right. This will show that you are a confident teacher indeed. Only make sure you do not contradict or oppose the inspector. Be collaborative. Now, note this very well. Listen more, speak less. Speak only when you are given the floor. Ask for clarification if you don't understand a comment, and don't hesitate to request specific advice. Be ready to learn. Growth happens when we are open to learning.
Mostly. The pair work was successful. Group discussions were a little quiet. I need to improve engagement there.
And there you have it, 5 tips to help you ace your next pedagogical visit. Remember, teaching is a journey of constant improvement, and every visit is a step toward becoming the best educator you can be. So from today on, don't hate pedagogical visits. Love them because they will help you grow faster.
Why not use a simple grammar drill?
If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more teaching tips, and share it with your fellow educators. Let's support each other on this teaching journey. See you next time on Teach Different. Bye for now.